Everyone knows Michelangelo's Finger of God, but when was the last time you looked at it in relation to the entire ceiling of the Sistine Chapel? When we step back, we remember that like a piece of a puzzle, it is but a portion of the great masterwork. Now fast forward through the centuries to the present and look at an artist's workflow. Like Finger of God, what we see is only a portion of German freelance artist Stefan Voigt's workflow. As an art director and 3D animator, Stefan has worked with Maxon Cinema 4D for over 10 years. He also relies on Kixel, a photogrammetry and photorealistic texture software, as well as Adobe Photoshop and After Effects. Beginning with pre-production, let's see what's involved in the creation of Stefan's Sistine Chapel. We provided Stefan with a workstation featuring a dual-socket 28-core Intel Xeon 8280 processor, then asked him to create a project and discuss his experience. If you notice, Intel has included the application optimizations section by section. This demonstrates how each artist's time could benefit in each part of the workflow. Overall performance depends on several key factors: one API, SIMD instructions, the CPU and GPU, and platform components such as Thunderbolt, or in this case, Optane. Let's take a look at artist time spent, as well as the level of performance and optimization done in software. Stefan is the only artist at work on the project, but in many cases, creative workflows are divided among multiple artists. Configurations may also be a factor depending on the size of the studios, such as Pixar, DreamWorks, Disney, Sony, Blue Sky, Illumination, etc. Back to the workflow. Pre-production primarily involves the CPU and GPU, so we recommend an Intel Core i7 or i9 desktop workstation like the Apex S3, a BOXX mobile workstation, or a remote access solution like the Flex S1G. For scene creation, we mostly engage the CPU with different levels of performance acceleration depending upon software and software features. Photogrammetry in a 3D creation workflow is more and more involved, which results in heavier workload since you work on more photorealistic textures. In order to quickly produce enhanced images faster, open image denoise is essential as it helps produce quality results in seconds and significantly reduces a rendering that may take hours, days, or even weeks. Access of data is key since artists use heavy scan. Thunderbolt and Optane play a substantial role in the performance gain equation. For this level of work, we recommend a Core X series or Xeon monosocket workstation like the Apex X3, Apex W3, or Apex W4L depending on the scene complexity. Lighting and rendering consume 30 to 35% of the artist's full workflow time. By the way, Stefan mentions that this is the average time spent on all his projects. Like scene creation, one API is necessary with a major emphasis on Intel Embry. Cinema 4D takes full advantage of these high-performance ray tracing kernels in addition to open image denoise. Cinema 4D's standard rendering engine will mostly use CPU rendering cycles. We recommend a single or dual socket Xeon processor workstation like the Apex W4L or Apex D4, a private server such as the Flex D1 or the Rax D2, or the elasticity of the cloud since Cinema 4D can also scale performance to the cloud using Embry. For a project's finishing touches, where an artist spends 2 to 5% of his time, we suggest an Apex S3 Enigma, Apex X3, or Apex W3 depending on the complexity of your project. Encoding also points to CPU performance. You can encode at several qualities and HEVC 60 frames per second 444 or 422 using encoding tools which mostly uses multi-threading, relying on the CPU and the AVX instruction set. Again, we suggest an Apex S3 Enigma, Apex X3, or Apex W3. The consumption section is very interesting. After the finished content is posted on a server, analytics can apply. As you may know, Intel offers an accelerated card called the Visual Cloud Accelerated Card Analytics, or VCAC-A. This card provides a cost-effective visual cloud service solution and includes media processing and delivery, media analytics, immersive media, and inference machine learning applications. Here, the Intel OpenVINO library comes into play and is scalable on clients as well as in the cloud, offering a major performance advantage. I'm sure you'll agree that looking only at Michelangelo's finger of God, it fails to capture the overall scope of the Sistine Chapel. Same holds true when only looking at one aspect of an artist's workflow. Such a granular view does not adequately represent the full, unique value of Intel's performance chain. By understanding all of these features and benefits, you can make the best decision based on your specific workflow needs. As a leading manufacturer of Intel-based workstations, servers, and cloud options, BOXX has your solution. Core i7 and i9 desktop and mobile workstations for pre-production, Core i7, i9, Xeon single-socket systems for scene creations, Core i9 single and dual-socket Xeon solutions for lighting and rendering, and Core i7, i9, and single-socket Xeon systems for post-production. BOXX systems featuring Intel technology support creators like you and your complete software ecosystem through every step of your workflow. The scene you're looking at now is a 60 frame per second 4K quality rendered video. So you see, BOXX Intel-based solutions plus Cinema 4D and other applications give you the complete set of tools necessary to unleash your creativity. With BOXX and Intel, discover the advantages of Core i7 and i9, single and dual socket Xeon workstations, private servers or virtual private clouds, and the elasticity of the public cloud. We have standard library optimizations to better serve developers and accelerate performance on both client and cloud. This technology offers an unprecedented level of flexibility for each creator and animation studio's unique workflow. We also offer developer tools such as OneAPI, the SIMD instruction set, CPU and GPU technologies, as well as Intel architecture components such as Thunderbolt and Optane. Unleash your creativity.